Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Rodriguez, and I am a College Access Fellow for 10,000 Degrees. I work in the Southern Marin region, so I work with students that go to Tamalpais High School, Redwood High School, San Andreas, and Sir Francis Drake.
And I am Maria Hernandez, and I am also a fellow with the North Marin region. So I support seniors at Novato, San Marin, and Marin Oaks High Schools. Thank you for joining us. We have Carlos with us here today. And Carlos, take it away.
Yeah, hi. My name is Carlos Gonzalez, and I work with students who attend private schools here in California and schools out of state. And I work out of Pier 28 in San Francisco.
Awesome. So, Carlos, can you tell us a little bit about your college background and your college journey?
Yeah, so my journey is interesting. When I graduated from high school, I went to community college for about a semester or two, and then I dropped out to go work in construction. And I did that for a couple of years. I guess you could say the priority in my household was to go out and earn a living and make money to support at home my parents. I grew up with four brothers, so our house was packed, and it was hard for my parents to, um, support all of us at the same time. So us older kids had to go and work. So school wasn't really an option for me at the time. And then years later, when I met my then girlfriend, who's now my wife, she was a student at Cal State East Bay. She was getting her teaching credential and her bachelor's degree, and she encouraged me to go back to school. And I did. I enrolled at Berkeley City College, did my 2 years there, got my AA in liberal arts, and then I transferred to Cal State East Bay, where I received my bachelor's degree in liberal arts and minor in human development. Um, and then after that, I went on to work in education for a few years and returned to school to the University of San Francisco, where I'm still currently enrolled and will be done this summer. I will be receiving my master's in psychology with a focus on school counseling.
What were some challenges that you faced throughout college that you weren't expecting, and what would you tell freshman you back then?
Yeah, I think for me, I really had a difficult time kind of building a network and being able to rely on others. I think my attitude was like, oh, I got this, I can do this alone. But once you're there and you're facing all these challenges and tough courses, and then you realize, hey, I need some support, right? So, and then that's where I feel like if I could tell my freshman year would be to be more assertive and to just um, you know take more chances and getting to know people and relying on others. I think that was one of the things that I wish I would have done sooner in my college career.
What do you think is your favorite class you ever took while in college?
Mm. When I was at Berkeley State College, I took a really cool African American history class. And I think what made it really unique and great to be in that environment was the professor. He kind of reminded me of Reverend Run from Run DMC. I don't know if you guys know who that dude is, but he was just really outgoing. He had this like amazing personality, and he just connected, especially with young students of color. I felt like the way he projected himself and the way he taught was just like it just made you want to be in his class. Like I didn't want to miss a class at all. I was just so invested in it. I was just amazed, and I learned a lot, which was like just an amazing place of learning to be in. And he created that space for us, and I just really enjoyed it.
Thank you for sharing that. So the next question is, how did college help you grow as a person and as a student?
Yeah, I think for me, just learning different perspectives helped me understand a lot of things, how American society works. I feel that I also grew a lot as a person because, growing up as a Mexican male, with the whole machismo culture and having to outgrow some of those things that you were raised with, was something that I really learned how to do in college, and just knowing and learning about that was something that definitely shaped who I am now as a person, because here you are, this person, you've grown up with these understandings your whole life, and that's who you think you are, but in reality, it's not who you are, right? And you learn to become a better person, a different person, and to be able to grow, right, as a human. um yeah, so that's one thing that college helped me a lot, was kind of like my identity, right, as a human being, not just as a Mexican male, and the things that I learned growing up from my culture.
What are some tips you have for professional development? Like if a student wants to focus on like their career or just like academic, like any professional advice?
Yeah, I think when I work with students and we talk about internships and doing interviews and things like that, I usually tell them to be authentic. Just, rely on yourself, rely on what you've learned and what you know. I think a lot of times we're so afraid that we kind of like shy away from who we are, right? And we go into these interviews without even sharing part of our stories, part of our lives, our struggles, what we've been through. And I think those are important things to talk about, because they could be some of your greatest assets, right? The things you've overcome in life, the things you've overcome in school, they're all related, and employers want to hear you overcome. So I think that would be the best advice I would give to the students.
So going into this fall, some students have already been notified that their classes are going to be starting virtual just because of health concerns and safety. And so what are some suggestions that you all have for students that are going to be starting remote learning this fall?
I did a good portion of my bachelor's degree online, and I had to make sure that I was logging in often, and with as much as the professors wanted me to log in, and also connecting with other students in the class. Even though it's virtual, you could still exchange emails, texts, phone numbers, and all that. Right, so you stay connected to others, and if you have any questions, you could rely on each other. And also, I would say setting alarms and calendaring, right, making sure that your assignments are turned in on time, that that you're not running to look to see when things are due. You already have them scheduled, when they're due. You have alarms set for when your class is going to start 30 minutes before, hopefully, that way you're not late, if you have technical difficulties, things of that nature.